Welcome to Johnny's Poop Shack, episode 9, where I cover smelly movies so that you don't potentially have to smelly them. Today's episode is sponsored by Race, real action cars and equipment. If you need a ramp, you need to flip a car, you need safety personnel, you better call these guys, because if you don't, doom on you. You're bad. Race. Use them. Today in the Poopcast studio, it's a rainy day in Georgia, and we're going to try and get through this one pretty quickly. Today's movie is Beverly Hills Cop 4, I think it is. Axel F. I don't know. It's one of those Beverly Hills Cop things. Everyone's old. So this just came out, and I've been asked to watch this thing, and so I finally did. And you know, I was really expecting garbage because I'm a firm believer in these sequels and these remakes and these reboots. They're just trashy crap, 95% of them. And this one, while not being trashy crap, was not the best it could have been. But you know what? It actually wasn't too terrible. You can pretty much think of what this sequel would be, and it's probably that. They're pretty predictable. It stars, of course, Eddie Murphy, who doesn't look like he's aged, other than his little pot belly, in 25 years. So, you know, I got to give it to Eddie Murphy, because I've aged, you've aged, we've all aged, but Eddie Murphy somehow doesn't age at all. The rest of his co-stars, however, not looking too good. You've got the two detectives, Taggart and Rosewood, played by the actors that aren't really on the top of my head at the moment. You've got Axel Foley's kid in this one. You've got a bad guy who is played by Kevin Bacon, because Kevin Bacon doesn't really play anything but bad guys. And then you've got some other little colorful cast of characters in there. You know, let's go to the neon score. It does take place in Los Angeles, part of it in Detroit, and there is some pretty decent neon, so I'll give it about a 5. It's you know, it's not a neon-driven movie, and you know, if it's not a neon-driven movie, it kind of gets a 5. That's pretty much how I'm going to score this stuff from now on out. So, filmmakers beware. If you don't have a lot of neon, you're not going to get a good neon score, whether you care or not. The film is a pretty good paced film. It's a pretty good action film. Actually, it's a fantastic action film. If you want action, this is the movie for you. There is a lot of it, just like any of the other Beverly Hills Cop movies. They're full of it, and there's action out the ears. And you know what? That brings me to the Letterkenny Fight Index. And the Letterkenny Fight Index, you know, I'm going to give this one a 9.5, because the stunt work in this movie is awesome. It is old school stunt work. It looks like old school stunt work. It feels like old school stunt work. There's shit blowing up everywhere. There's big, huge car crashes, big, huge action sequences. The fighting's good, gun work. It's 80s action, man. And I've worked for this stunt coordinator and his assistant, Mike Gunther and Kyle Woods. And you know what? I had no issues when I worked with them. They were great. And what they did in this one, man, guys, fantastic job. This is great action. Better action than a lot of the other stuff that I've seen, these past few years. I venture to say better than some John Wick stuff. And there you go. So John Wick seems to be the bar that everyone sets. And you know what? John Wick's great. John Wick fighting is cool and repetitive. But for old school big stunt work, this is a movie for you. So if you want to see some things blow up, you want to see some bad guys get shot, you want to see some good reactions that these guys do, they're 80s reactions. It's fantastic. So 9.5. I will give it 9.5. So if you're thinking about watching this movie, or you're thinking about not watching it because man, it just looks kind of stupid. It looks kind of goofy. Well, you know what? It is a little bit. It's a Beverly Hills Cop movie, and it's, you know, 20 something years after the last Beverly Hills. More than that. I think 94 was the last Beverly Hills Cop movie. So, you know, for such a break, and the actors are all old and decrepit, it's actually not bad. It's not great. Don't get me wrong. It's not great, but it's not bad. And the action more than makes up for it. So, see it. Check it out. It's on Netflix. It's where I watched it. And, you know, hopefully you'll have some fun with it. I did. Yeah, it wasn't terrible. So I'm going to score it about a 8.5 because it was a 5 on the neon and it was a 9.5 on the good stuff. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. Anyway, there will be a one this week, midweek, I promise you. I promise you. I'm not going to lie to you again because I am now off work, out of work. The show I was on ended, and I'm kind of taking a break before I start another one. And apparently so is pretty much the entire industry. So you know what? It works out for me. Anyway, I'll see you guys Wednesday or Thursday. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.